Over the course of the new year, I've been undergoing a forging. As a dull blade, I seek out fires to sharpen my edge and improve each cut I make into YouTube's algorithm. Each cut doesn't have to be a good one, but a good cut is becoming more common over time. I realized several things across my battles, lessons of content creation that I feel as though I should share. The path to truth is littered with the bodies of the ignorant. This doesn't mean you have to prove to a bunch of people that they're wrong. What it means is you need to evaluate the information you gather and interpret its pragmatic value in your life. So what if you need to find your niche? How do you grow once you've found it? And even if you found your niche, it doesn't necessarily mean you can keep creating content like that. This isn't to say finding your niche is bad advice. This is to say that evaluating why it's good advice and how you can apply it in your own way to your specific situation is important to your path of mastery. Content creation is an art form. If you want to master content creation, you must engage with it like a curious child or a theorizing scientist. It's a detached analysis, or treating the act of content creation as a curious adventure. How does this work? Why does this work? How or why does this advice work? It's breaking everything down, finding the meta lessons across the information, and understanding it to a point where you can take actions that are your own. Finally, what does the information you learn imply for other things? Imagine dedicating yourself to mastering the simple act of cutting with a sword. One clean, decisive cut. Instead of wildly swinging, you study the weight and balance of the blade, the angle and speed of the cut, your footwork, your breathing, the moment your blade connects, the tension of your grip, how the grip ruins the cut or creates a clean cut, how you must be present when you're making the cut, the difference between forcing a cut and allowing the blade to do the work. After thousands of cuts on whatever target you feel is necessary, something shifts. When you dedicate so long to mastery, you start understanding it so deeply that mastering something else becomes easier in its own way. There's a certain transferable skill set that comes with something that you master. It just depends on how you transfer. It depends on what you transfer to. So eventually you see a point where you're no longer cutting with a sword, you begin to understand universal principles, timing, when to speak, when to stay silent, when to act in life or love. It's similar to when making a decisive cut, efficiency. True power comes from relaxation and precision, not brute force. Adaptation. Every opponent, every situation, every person is different. You must read subtle cues and adjust instantly. Being adaptable with every cut is exactly the type of lesson you need to learn. Being adaptable with how you think, feel, and navigate your content creation. Learning to quiet the anxiety over thinking how to respond naturally. This is shutting any doubts and being more present within the action itself. Decisiveness. Once the cut begins, there's no hesitation. Half-committed actions fail. Fully committed actions are decisive, and they show real, genuine growth. The sword teaches you about your ego. Let's say wood cutting. When you're chopping firewood, you're doing it for the act itself. You're not so prideful that you don't chop wood because you think it's beneath you. You simply just chop wood. Similar to cutting with a sword. You are present. You don't care about how good you are with the sword. You care about a good cut. From mastering one cut, in my analogy, you understand 10,000 things. You understand things about strategy, psychology, emotional control, relationships, leadership, discipline, and the nature of life itself. If you couldn't tell already, I'm heavily influenced by Miyamoto Musashi. In his way of life, the sword was the lens that he functioned under. What I'm trying to tell you is to find a lens that makes sense to you. Finding your lens is very important. How do you even begin to think like this? How do you find your lens? How do you naturally cultivate from one thing, no 10,000 things? It's simple. You engage with that act by attempting to master it itself. If you keep trying to think like this, eventually it's another thing you master over time. Keep trying to think like this consistently, and eventually you'll start thinking like this more and more. There's no easy shortcut. Be patient with yourself and sharpen under fire. This leads me to the second thing I learned when it comes to content creation. Aligned intention matters more than consistency. Uploading a video matters, doing your best matters, nothing beyond that should ever be questioned. I value consistency and actually getting the job done. No nonsense, just get the job done. However, content creation requires more strategy and intention than other fields, where consistency is more valued. When I upload a video, I try to see what works, discard what doesn't, and add my own. Over time, improving a little more, doing my best each time, then understanding how to make it easier, better, and more lucrative as time goes on. A lot of people won't tell you that. If your audience isn't the type to watch makeup tutorials, then you'll be uploading tutorials to no one. Just like how a famous Twitch streamer switches to a different game and their viewership goes from 500 viewers to 22 viewers. Upload not to win, upload to learn. Winning is a habit. Winning is found through learning. When it comes to YouTube videos, understand the type of growth that they give you. Some videos are slow burns. So even if it gets 22 viewers, maybe upload it anyways. Maybe you'll get 500 views in the long run. But you need to discern those videos from the ones that won't actually get you anything. Sharpening a blade requires grit. I'm consistently uploading videos, but I'm also taking my time to develop them along with myself. It took a lot of effort for me to build the passion and fire for content creation. Now that I have that fire, I can spend more of my time exploring the best ways to grow my channel, rather than doubting myself and getting nothing done. And finally, this is the last bit of advice. The mental toll. Content creation is a luxury field, similar to acting or other artistic fields. If you find success, the water flows. If you don't, it's difficult to get by. It's a zero-sum game and just as much of a gold rush as other fields. That's why it's difficult to bring up the mental toll that content creation naturally bubbles up with once it simmers. There's usually a lack of empathy for it. Everyone's life is different. Someone's bad could be somebody's worst ever. The thing is, content creation naturally brings you to confront your identity. You need to learn to take rejection. Take the comments. I personally don't care for getting mean comments. Anybody can say whatever they want. That's their freedom. Why would I take that freedom away from them? I will listen to people who find something wrong with my content. I'm here to learn and improve each time, cutting deeper into the algorithm with each swing. So what if I get mean comments? I don't care about those. I care about the ones that are telling me how to improve, how to get better. Discern which comments are there to help you from the ones that provide no actual substance or value at all. I will fail 1,000 times and 10,000 more until I reach my goals. I don't care about how I look, how I might seem, what my self-doubts are, how long it takes before I even see growth. Everything has its cons. Not everything is perfect. I'm just highlighting what needs to be dealt with when you get into this field. Accepting this makes it much more freeing because this is the main barrier to creation itself. Freedom of expression is a freedom you need to give yourself. Another thing is staying creative. Being creative, strategic, and adaptable is one of the most highly rewarding traits in this field that naturally requires a lot of mental energy. You need to think, work, fail, think more, succeed, and do it all over again until you can't stop succeeding anymore. Don't forget to start small and have fun, yes, but don't forget that these are the main barriers that will come to you in the long run. Acceptance is one of the greatest draining forces against motivation and creativity. This is the rite of passage for creators. Let me know if there's something I missed in the comments section, or if there's something you'd like to expand on what I discussed in the video. And also, I might make more content like this, so let me know if you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!